KStrip is such a powerful plugin. You can take your mix from this to this. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome to another Kive audio video. My name is Luke Dimond. I'm an audio engineer and music producer, and I'm here in my new studio room in Las Vegas at Studio A. Super excited to be bringing you guys another plugin video for the KStrip, a plugin that I've used a lot over the past couple weeks. Indie pop has been a genre that has been overtaking the pop industry pretty rapidly. I guess you could call it like that bedroom pop vibe. And I'm working on a track, and I thought it would be really cool to use KStrip to take my raw, recorded and unpolished sound and turn it into something polished using KStrip. But before we dive in, if you're not familiar with KStrip, it is a channel strip style plugin, which I'm a huge fan of those, always have been. Where you actually have hot swappable modules. And now, I made a video on this like a couple weeks ago, and since then they took feedback from users and they actually made the different modules globally linked together, so you can kind of just check different flavors by switching between them. I'm super excited because I have not used that feature yet, and we're gonna be using it today in this video. So without further ado, let's get into the session. All right, now that we're in the session, we'll just take a listen to the track first. We'll just play like a 20-second snippet of it. All right, we'll start with the drums here. So I'm going to load an instance of KStrip. First thing I hear is it kind of sounds like there's a little bit too much muddiness, the drums could be a bit brighter. Obviously we could do some compression. I think it's a splice loop or something, just from some indie pop pack. So it is pre-processed, but just to make it fit the vibe of the song, we're going to mess with it a little bit. But working left to right, let's add some saturation to the drums first. Ooh. Awesome, I really like how that sounds already. Let's add a little bit of top end sizzle. It's probably gonna be between 12 and 14K, but let's listen. So I really like this top end sizzle, but let's turn the global link feature on so we can kind of toggle through the different modules and flavors of sound and just see if there's one we maybe like better. I'm going to go with the A one. As you could hear, all three of them sounded very different. So I really like that. And with the global link feature, as you toggle through them, your EQ settings or your compression settings or your saturation settings stay the same. So you can kind of just go through and just pick one that sounds really good. And I'm happy with the A style. And now these drums are already super compressed, but I'm just looking for tonality here. So let's dial it in. And after a little bit of light compression, I really like the S style for this. I am going to add some of the transient shaper. That is magic. And now I want to move on to this I think it's a Juno bass. So we're going to add KStrip to that. I already know I'm going to want to play with the distortion a little bit, or the saturation. So let's look at that. Turn on that global link so we can go through them. A and S. I like S. Don't really need to touch the EQ here. There's not a whole lot of other information other than like a sub bass, but maybe we'll absolutely crush it with a compressor and see how it sounds. Do like 10 to 1. All right, next I have these like sidechain Juno chords. These are later in the song, but I do want to affect these, and the arrangement is kind of similar to the section we played in the beginning. So I'm going to process these. I'm going to break the rules of music and use trim to just turn this up. Global link. I'm adding a little bit of bottom end. I want a little bit more body with this. And then surprise, I used the Juno again and did this kind of like trilly weird like intro thing and then just added a bunch of reverb. I know I already flattened it with reverb, but I think bringing out some brightness and maybe adding a little bit of light compression to it will do a lot. Ooh, that's nice. Add some sizzle. All right, moving on to the organ. I already love how this sounds, so I'm probably not going to do much to it, but I kind of want to do the same thing and add a little bit of sizzle to it. Luke's breaking the rules again and cranking the drive all the way. No, I like how this sounds. I obviously have to trim it back quite a bit if I'm going to push it that hard. All right, and then I do want to add a lot of top end sizzle, so let's, global link is on, so let's just kind of play with it. And moving on, we have the acoustic guitar. This needs some help. As you can hear, the acoustic guitar is basically not even there. It's very, very lost. So let's help it find its way. All right, so I am gonna not go for the saturation for the acoustic guitar. I don't really think I want it on that. But we are gonna be definitely doing some EQing here. So let's get started. Definitely want to boost. Brightness. Probably around 12K. And then we do have a bunch of boominess in probably between 200 and 300. Yeah. So we'll just drop it back to 200. And we're going to do a little bit of a high pass at the bottom here. And now my goal for compression is to bring out the actual strumming sound and let the acoustic guitar actually shine through and not get lost behind all those other instruments. Slow attack, medium-ish, fast release. The S style is really nice for this. We definitely brought some life back into it. All right, moving on. We have this like verby guitar, like kind of guitar libs, ad libs, I guess I kind of did. Licks. I don't know what you call them. I'm gonna clip gain that a little bit. Firstly, we're gonna turn on that global link. Turn on the saturation. And now I'm going to add a little bit of that top end sizzle. And then I'm hearing some kind of like low end resonances. That's probably the reverb. I just EQ'd it like an idiot. I'm going to dial those back. Let me find them first. It's like that 500 boxiness. I'm going to cut that a little bit. There we go. And then just a little bit of light compression. Then we have some more guitar. I already know we're going to be doing some EQing here, so I'm going to start there. The low mids got to get carved out just a little bit. That right there. Dial that back. High pass filter. Drop a little bit of 200 too. Cleaned it up quite a bit. And let's switch to the compression. S style sounds really good. I really like how that sounds. It's kind of just a support instrument, but I did want to at least be able to hear a little bit of the like picking sound, but also wanted it to kind of live behind everything else without adding too much of that low end like boxy frequency to my my whole mix overall. And then finally we have a bass and a riser left. I'm not going to do anything to the riser, so let's get to the bass. All right, global link is on. Let's play with the bass. Oh. Oh my. That sounds really good. I've never used this one on bass. And then moving on to EQ, I'm going to monitor the frequency here and try to find like just the picking sound. An AK. Just want to bring that out a little bit. And then we have a little bit of like a boxy frequency. I want to cut a little bit. Again, not the best performance. Sorry. I'm gonna use this one here. Right there. So I love that I brought out the picking, but we're gonna dial the attack back a little bit. Slow down the release a little bit. And 4-to-1. That sounds good. It just sits in the mix a lot better. This was before. After. The song as a whole is sounding a lot more glued together and a lot cleaner. Let's listen to the whole thing before I added KStrip, and then we'll enable it. And on. With a song like this, I wanted every element of the song to be heard. I wanted it to shine and bring everything forward, and KStrip did exactly that. So super excited about it. This is such a powerful plugin. You can do so much more. I didn't even scratch the surface, so you need to try this for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you to Kive Audio for having me. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions about KStrip or any Kive Audio plugins. And I encourage you to utilize the free trial to the Kive Audio plugins. Try them for yourself. I promise you're gonna love them. See you guys next time.